All right, we got to talk about the Devin Williams trade and all things Yankees with New York Post and MLB insider Jon Heyman. Jon, saw you yesterday, man. Me and you are coming quite the duo when it comes to Yankees and Mets news. But let's focus on the Yankees right now. They traded for Devin Williams. What do you think about the trade and what they had to give up for Williams?
I mean, they gave up a lot. I love Nestor Cortez. I think he's got a lot of courage. I think he's a really tough left-hander. He'll be good in Milwaukee. And Chad Durbin, who's a good second base prospect. But it's a logical trade. They've landed one of the top three closers in the game, in my opinion, Devin Williams. And not just my opinion, it's backed up by the numbers. A lifetime 1.83 ERA. I mean, how many people have a lifetime 1.83 ERA? He is an outstanding closer. I know New Yorkers will remember that he gave up the big home run to Pete Alonso, one of the biggest in Mets history. But I mean, that was an aberration, at least from Williams' perspective. And he's an outstanding pitcher who averages nearly 15 strikeouts per 9 innings without throwing particularly hard. He's got a great changeup, outstanding pitcher. It's a one-year deal that he's got left before he's a free agent. Maybe they can keep him. It's not going to be like Juan Soto. You got a shot to extend him probably, but I like it. It really helps out that bullpen.
In comes Devin Williams and Max Fried. Out goes Nestor Cortez and Clay Holmes. Would you say that the Yankees bullpen and rotation is better this year than it was last year, as of now?
Yeah, I mean, well, sure. I mean, if you got Max Fried, you've got that 1-2 combination. They don't have the 1-2 combination of Judge and Soto anymore, but you've got that 1-2 combination at the top, Cole and Fried. That's as good as any 1-2 combination in baseball. I'm not going to say they've matched the Dodgers rotation at this point, 1 through 5, but 1 and 2, pretty darn tough. Righty, lefty. Fried is outstanding, 140 ERA plus for his career, 8th best all time. That's pretty good. And Williams, like I said, 183 ERA, tough to beat that one. So, and Weaver as the setup man now, that's a pretty good setup man. They're very good on the back end. They're very good on the front end. Their bullpen, their rotation look excellent. Their team looks good. I know they're a little bit unhappy, certainly to lose an all-time great, in my mind at least, Juan Soto, but they're making up for it. They're doing some good work.
Some other news that broke was Cal Tucker was traded to the Cubs. The Yankees missed out on him. Can you give us some details about that trade or that move?
Yes, pending physical, right? Paredes, a third baseman who didn't play particularly well in Chicago, but he's a viable third baseman. Cam Smith, who's a third base prospect, maybe replace Paredes. Go over to Houston along with Hayden Wesneski, who used to be a Yankee farmhand. Big arm. He was such a big arm, and people like him so much that he was part of the talks. Never happened, of course. The Angels never came close to trading Shohei Ohtani. But he was one of the names mentioned, along with bigger names, Volpe and Wells and a lot of other big names that were mentioned. So, I mean, Houston likes this trade. I think Houston will do more. I think Houston is still trying to win. But Cubs fans who are understandably unhappy, the biggest move they had made for over a year was the manager, Craig Counsell. They get a superstar player. They needed this kind of player. They have good players in a lot of spots, but no real bona fide superstar. And Kyle Tucker is that, right? Offensively, defensively, on the bases. Excellent all-around player. I mean, I hear people talk about how he's a better all-around player than Soto. I mean, he's not Juan Soto, but in terms of an all-around player, he's outstanding.
All right, let's go back to the Yankees. I have a hard time believing that or thinking that Brian Cashman is done when it comes to adding to the roster. What other moves could the Yankees make for the rest of the offseason?
Right. And I do want to mention that the Yankees were reluctant to give up Luis Gil, which does make sense. So I get that from that perspective. Luis Gil, Rookie of the Year, potential #1 starter. So they didn't want to give him up in the Tucker trade discussion. And I get it. They want to move Judge to right field. So center field is kind of what they're looking at. Cody Bellinger is the great fit for I don't want to say perfect fit. That's become a cliche, but he's a great fit for the Yankees. He plays center. He plays first base. Those two spots right now are under some question. Certainly first base. They don't have one. And this is only about money. The Yankees do have money left over. So hopefully, from their standpoint, that they can work this out. Last I heard, the Cubs were willing to chip in a few mil. Not exactly sure how much. And the Yankees certainly were interested. We'll say interested in Bellinger, wanted more money. So they're still negotiating that, as far as I know. But I mean, clearly the Cubs are trading Bellinger at this point. They just got Tucker. It was already dangling him to everybody to begin with. They're clearly trading him.
You're the best in the business for a reason. Jon Heyman, thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you.